code. It's Friday. So guys, let's just qalise asolindambi because it's Friday. Ngiyayazi it-real mos. KV.
Oh, Bura.
Alright, sir. Luvuyo.
Hello, sir.
Yeah. Let's get started, guys. Hey, we are not gonna wait for anyone. It's Friday, kaloku ngiyayazi it-real. Yeah. So object-oriented programming. I'll just start from the beginning. Unfortunately, others like OKV, sebekude, but yeah, I just want to start from the beginning so that nizoyibona kahle this thing of your OP. Yes. So first of all, object-oriented programming. Let me just go here to these guys. What is object-oriented programming? Yeah, I'm still waiting a response from a dog on his view of object-oriented programming. General. So at first semester, problem solving or intro to programming 1. You are just doing procedural programming. You're not using classes, not using objects. You're just doing procedural programming, whereby you're grouping your code into functions. You're not using without using any classes or objects. So that is procedural programming. And the procedural programming, in most cases, is based on those problem that requires mathematics. If you remember, KV projects that we're doing on first semester for problem solving were mathematically related. So guys, do you get this difference between a procedural programming and object-oriented programming? Just the idea. First of all, you have to understand. Yes.
No, I ndiyavuma nje bazayithola.
Yeah. I think the thing that is most important, you just have to know the idea. But okay, what was the idea? Why do they decided to introduce this object-oriented programming? You see, yes. So the first book there, it's for me. So object-oriented programming is a technique to write a clean, organized, and reusable code. So in general, that is what I think a idea of the object-oriented programming is about. You see, yes. And then Johannes Trostrup, which is the creator of C++. So Johannes Trostrup is the scientist that created this programming language, which is C++. And he believes that object-oriented programming is a powerful technique that can be used to write well-designed and maintainable programs. Yes. And then number 3, we have Mr. Crispin Kabuya, the head of the Department of Mathematical Sciences and Computing at Walter Sisulu University. So this is the comment on his view of object-oriented programming. So OOP or object-oriented programming is an approach in which you view world or the problem you want to solve in object perspective and how these objects interact in solving problems that you want to solve. Wow, that's amazing. Yeah. So once Dr. Tinaro has replied on his view, I'll just update you guys. Yes. So are we still together? Are we still together? We have to communicate so that the class can be exciting.
Yeah, that's on.
Yeah, that's nice. So guys, every day now from Monday to Friday, we'll be having these class sessions. We'll be having these class sessions at 5 to 6, from 5 to 6 p.m.
Make since kungathendwa okanye kwakhona even ndoba sekubuyele ii-classes to normal.
Even if it's a classes or normal, But if you feel like, no, this is not a good, you can just, we'll talk. So, no, I don't like this. Okay, these times don't work for me. Just communicate.
Hayi no, ingxaki bendinexhala nje since ubuzathatha iklasi la 3 to 5 uphinde ngo-5 to 6 ube nenye, so bendicinga loo nto. But ke xa ungekho ngxaka it's fine.
Oh, about that. About that.
Sorry.
Yes.
Sorry. Yeah. When I class from 4 for inansika computer inansika programming. Yeah, was back on classes ngena late. So I don't think it'll override killer class.
Yeah.
But
Well, let's just say okay. Maybe okay, we'll just during if when the things go back to normal, when the university go back to normal, we'll just communicate about the time, this issue of time. Okay, what is the suitable time for us to host these online classes? How about that? So once classes commence, we'll just communicate with each other, with each other about the setting of timetable for hosting these online classes. So is that okay? Yeah. Okay, so let's get back to it. Yes. So table of content. So by the way, I'm still in the process of writing this. So table of content, blah, blah, blah. No, there's no table of content. Yes. So what is object-oriented programming? Then Johannes Strastrup defines object-oriented programming as a technique for programming, a paradigm for writing a good programs for a set of problems. He argues that object-oriented programming is a good way to write programs because it allows for the following. So encapsulation, abstraction, inheritance, polymorphism. So those are the four pillars of object-oriented programming. Or those are the four concepts that make up the object-oriented program. You see? Yes. So under encapsulation, the data and behavior. So this is from Johannes Strastrup, which is the creator of C++. The data and behavior of an object are encapsulated together, which makes it easier to understand and maintain the code. Then abstraction. Objects can be used to represent abstract concepts, which make it easier to think about the problem being solved. Inheritance. Objects can inherit from other objects, which allows for the code reuse, which allows for the amount of code needs to be written. Then when it comes to polymorphism, objects can be used in different ways depending on their type. This allows for flexibility, makes the code more reusable. Then Johannes Strastrup argues that OP is particularly well suited for problems that involve complex data structure and relationships. You see? Yes. But let's just skip this and go masi apho kuvele khona ithole. Yes, classes and object. So these are the first concept of object-oriented programming, which are classes and objects. So a class, if you remember, so from your definition, who can tell me what is an array? Just don't worry, just define an array. What is an array? KV, what is an array? You can define it as Xhosa, it doesn't matter. An array.
Oh, yeah.
Now, what is an array? What do you think an array is? How can you define an array? You can define it now as close, it doesn't matter.
Andazi ke noba i-meaning yam izawuba clear na, but I think it's an ordered series or arrangement.
Yes.
Let's say if besithetha ngokwe-tape, but it's not by sizo-arrange izinto zethu in a particular way, whether mhlawumbi we are talking ngemoto, mhlawumbi si-arrange kwe-brands zazo yonke loo nto.
So typically it's for storing, right? So don't mute yourself. Don't mute yourself. So it's for storing, right? It's a storage of some sort. And then, so it stores different values of the same type. So that means I can store different cars. I can store different names. I can store different values for temperatures, but of the same type. You see? So even so, array it's one of the users. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So array it's one of the user-defined data type. It's one of the user-defined. It's an example of a user-defined data type. So at the same time, so I have to just give it. It's a data structure. So it's a data structure, and it's a user-defined data type. So now let's come back to the class. So a class is also a user-defined data type, but it can hold values of a different type. So that means it can store a name of type string, the age of type int, a salary of type double, is employed of type bool, character, or so a symbol of type character. So those are different types, but they are stored on a single user-defined data type. You see, so and then now we go back and say it's a collection of fixed number of members. And then now this class, or this data type that we are creating now, this data type that we are creating, it's a collection of fixed number of members. So those members, they're having different types. You see, you can have float, you can have int, you can have double, you can have bool. So those collection of members, or the collection of members, are of different types. You see, yes. And then now, members of class are variables and functions of the class. You see, and then now, let me open my IDE. So this is Visual. This is Dev C++. This is Dev C++. This is Dev C++. Let me just do that for now. So class, let's just create, say class, and then say student. So and name. Then I say int name new. Let's say string name. Then int age. Void. Yes. So, so this is a class. So on that definition, I said that a class, it's a collection of fixed number of members. So these are members. So this class has 3 members: name, age, and print function. So these are properties, and then these are functions, or these are methods. So these are fields, these are variables, excuse me. So, and these are the properties. And we get back to this one. Okay. Wait. Yeah. Yeah. So now this is the syntax for the class. Oh, wait, let me share my screen first. Yes. So this is the syntax for the class. You just write that keyword class, and then a class identifier. So a class identifier, it's a name of the class, and then you create your members. So these are the members. So these are the members, right? Name, age, print. So we're following that syntax. So student, it's a class identifier, and then a class, it's a C++ keyword, which is class. You see? Yes. And then now, to end your definition, this is the definition of the class. So to end this definition of this class, we use that semicolon. Yes. Yes. So members, these are member variables. Yes. So these are member variables. These are member functions. You see? Yes. So we are calling them members. Members, yes. And then, okay, let me go back to here. Yes. So yeah, let's look at this one. So we are learning by coding. You see, we're learning by coding. So our learning by coding. So I want to emphasize this coding part. You just have to code every day. You code every day. I want to show you how do we learn by coding. You see, I'm going to copy a code here and then show you how do we actually learn to code. We don't learn a code by reading a code. We learn a code by coding, by practicing. You can't learn it by reading the notes. No, that's not the way of learning programming. Yes. And then now this is the practical demonstration 1. Write a C++ program that creates a book class with the following members: a private string title, a private double cost price, a public method, which is setBook, that takes a string title, double price as input, sets the title and the cost price members of the object. A public method print that prints the title and cost price members of the object. The main function of the program should create a book object and call the setBook and print method. So a method is a synonym for a function, but since I'm used in Java, I'm using the language of Java, so I just sometimes I use methods instead of functions. You see, yes. So when you see a keyword methods, just think of functions, yes, because I was tutoring Java, so I was writing there on Java questions. So I have to use methods instead of functions there. Just like here, I have to use functions instead of methods, but they are synonyms. You see, yes. Instructions. The set book should only be called once to set the title and the cost price members of the object. The print method should print the title and cost price members of the object separated by a new line character. The main function should create a book object called the set book and print function. So code, yes. So just like in problem solving or intro to programming, so you are going to write a pseudocode before you create any program, you see. So this is how we create a pseudocode. And then now let's discuss. Are we still together? Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I want to ask.
Yes.
Yeah. So you're saying that if you are given the question, then you have to create a pseudocode first before you do a programming.
Exactly. You have to create a pseudocode. You have to create a pseudocode for that program. So, do you know how to create a pseudocode? I feel like yeah. Do you know how to create a pseudocode?
Okay, it's not the one that we. It's not the one that we're doing in class about the int and also the double.
Yes. So yeah, it's pseudocode. It's the same. Still pseudocode. Yes. So KV. Second. Yeah. So yeah, what's your intake on this pseudocode? Do you understand it? Yeah. Yeah, it's just that there are now classes, so pseudocode now is gonna be a little bit different from the one of the problem solving. It was in problem solving, yes, there was just code in a single file, and then you just, wow, I'm happy. So, but now, yes.
So apho ku necessary ukudeclarisa i-variables zakho kwi-pseudocode zonke.
Yeah, because we need to know. You remember, the object is, by the time you create an object, it's whereby a space for a variable is going to be created. So you want to know, want to see the variables.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Let's get back to it. So this is the pseudocode class book. So the name of the class is a book, and then we have private members. So we're not talking about the private members. We're talking about those variables that cannot be accessed directly outside the class. You see? Yes. But we're not talking about the public members. We're talking about those members that, let me get back to private members first. So private members can only be accessed within the class. They cannot be accessed outside the class. But public members can be accessed outside the class and also inside the class. You see the difference between the two? Yes. So now we're using if functions. So now that means now if I have private members and public members inside the same class, that means now the public members have access on the private members because they are still on the same class. Remember that, because we said that the private members are accessible within the class, but they are not accessible outside the class. So that means any member that is inside the class can also access those private members because this member is still inside the class. So do you understand that part? That part is very important. Do you understand that part?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry, can you repeat it again?
Yes. So we're saying we have these are called access modifiers. So they restrict accessibility of members of the class. So we have private and also we have public. You see? Yes. So these members that are public, all these members that are public, so that they are accessible inside the class and outside the class. But these members that are private are only accessible inside the class. These members that are private are only accessible within the class. They are not accessible outside the class directly. So yayiva vuyo. Okay. By the way, it's recorded. So if you feel like no, and you can just come back later and watch it. Or else I'll just post it on YouTube. Yes. Okay. So this is the continuation of pseudocode. So function main. So entering the int main function. So we're creating our object book1, and then we're calling our set function, and then we're passing values inside that set function. We're passing that string, and also we're passing that double. And then finally we call the print function so that we can print the values inside this object, which is book1. And then we end our main function. So now this pseudocode outlines the structure and logic of the given C++ program in more human readable and abstract form. So it defines the book class with its private and public members, and it shows the main function that creates an instance of the book class, book1, and calls its method setBook and print, and displays book details. Yes, I have to edit and remove those methods, and replace those methods with functions. I'm not comfortable with that. So now this is a class. This is how we create what? A class. So now I want to show you how we actually learn coding. So you look at this class of mine, and then you go to your IDE. Go to your IDE. See, you go to your IDE, and that, so you look at this one. Oh, this is how we create a class book. Okay, you say class car. Create your own class. You don't copy what's you don't copy what you see. You just create your own class, but you create a class that is similar to this. You see, class book, and then you say and then private. Okay, so you put private. So this is access modifier. So all the members that are below private are only accessible within the class. They cannot be accessible directly outside the class. You see, and then you go again here. You say, oh, there are two variables, a title and a cost price. Okay, you go and then you say, okay, let's just say a string, and then you say name, and then you say double, then you say price, then you say public. say, oh, okay. So now I have two variables. So on this class that is in front of me, I have two variables, which is title and a cost plus. So the class that I'm creating, my own class now, it's different from that one. So I'm learning by coding. I'm coding while I'm learning. You see, this is very nice way of learning how to code. You see, oh, I also have two variables on my class, which is car, and then those two variables are private. So that means these two variables cannot be accessed directly outside the class. They can only be accessed inside the class. You see, yes. And then now, let's go to the functions now. Oh, we have setBook, we have print. So I'm going to create a function similar to that one. Okay, what's going on? Yes, setBook, yes. And then that means now I want to create void set car. All right, and then let's copy from here. Oh, string title double price. Okay, and then I say string and then double cost. All right, yeah, okay. So set car void set book. Yes, so these are parameters, and these this is called a void, a non. Okay, someone is talking. Yes.
Ya, ngicela ubuyele phake kulaa ncwadi kulaa document
Yes.
PDF.
Yes.
Njengoba uyabona mos pha ku-private utitle ebedeclarisiwe zi-string,
Yes.
then wabuya again ku-public akwabikho changes, so akuzubakho ngxaki phaa. Njengoba sometimes xa kudeclariswa kudla ngokuthizo ke kuthiwe T or maybe like laa nto uyenzayo.
No, there is a difference between this title and this one. So this one has underscore.
Oh,
Yes, this one has underscore. You see, title with underscore. So that one is just title. You see.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And then now, but you will see KV now. So after some time, we'll just say name, but after you've just learned pointers, after the pointers, you'll see, well, okay, so this is just achievable after the concept of pointers. Yeah. So ndivakala kahle, right? I feel like.
Hayi, usavakala kahle.
Okay. All right. And then Z phinde waphuma. She just joined, then she left. Okay. Yeah. So
Network uzi.
oh, hey. Abantu bembi bagodukile, they went home. So we understand abanye bahlala komqanduli, so you know. Yeah, okay. So this is void print, and then I want to create a void display. And then come back. Oh, put a semicolon there. Yeah. If I get. Yeah. So I've just created my own class.
Phake ngoku-display no-print zii-synonyms vele mos.
Yes, yes. You see, I've created my own class now. So it's actually different from that one. You see how easy it is to take someone's code and make it your own. I copied this code, but then I've changed it. I made it mine, and it's completely different. Guys, do you understand what I'm trying to do here? I'm just trying to show how we actually learn by coding. And then let's just put some, since we have string in there, hashtag include string, and then using namespace standard, since we have that string, namespace standard. So I have to put my header files and then using namespace std and stuff. Now I want to, okay. So okay. So this class now, let's go back to our document. So this now I have another file. So now this object-oriented programming, you write the code in separate files, right? So I want to show you how do we do this thing. Just cut. So I'll just start again and open this ID again so that I can open a project. So this is how we write a code, the object-oriented program, into 3 separate files, which is a header file, implementation file, and the main file. So you go to IDE, you click on it, click on the IDE, you go to that corner, you say new project. From in procedural programming, we're not creating projects, we're just source file, yes, all of that. But now you are creating what? A project. You click on the empty project, you say okay, you click on the okay, and then you go out there and to put it anywhere. So you create a folder, so this folder, okay, name it C++ tutorial. So the folder that I've just created, it's for saving all the projects for C++ that I'm going to create. And then you click on it, you click here. Now inside this C++ tutorial folder, I want to create another folder for this project now that I'm creating, which is car. This is car. Then I open, I click until I'm here. You see? Now let's put back our code. We're here. You see? We're here. And then now I want to save this file. Go to File, and then Save As. And then you click Save As Type. And then your header files. And then the name. You say the class name must always start with the capital letter, and it must be, file name must be okay, and then yeah, it's now it's fine. Yes, you see the file name is the same as the class name. So this is going to help you when you go to second year, which is your Java, or third year. Yes. So this is gonna help you when you go to your third year or your second year. You see, yes. And now I say a new file. Then I open a new file. So why am I opening? So this one, it's a header file. You see, so this one that I'm going to code here, it's called implementation. I want to, so these are called function prototypes. Let me just write that. These are called function prototypes. Function prototypes. So I have my member variables. So I have my access modifier. So this private is called access modifier. Access modifier or access specifier. So this one, it's private access modifier. This one, it's public access modifier. Access. Yes. So this one is private access modifier. This one is public access modifier. Yes. And then I have my function prototypes. So these are function prototypes because these functions don't have any implementation. In Java, we call them function signatures. Yes, function signatures. Yes. And then this is a class identifier. And this it's a class keyword. And then these are, so this is a preprocessor directive. And this is using namespace standard. Yes. And now let's go back to, okay, before we move on, okay, let's stop here. Yes. So guys, do you understand? Are you having any troubles? Zabahle, welcome to the team. So guys, so far, are we doing good? Are we doing good so far? Okay. Uvuyo, sharp. All right. Is it? Hayi ufuna uve wangena nje ngavula umakhe atsho abuyela kuNetflix. all right. Got you made my kind of what? All right. So let's go here. Okay. So let's go back to our practical manual. Yes. So now this is the implementation. This is the implementation file. I have my site book. So that means on the implementation file, I'm just writing the implementation of those function prototypes. So these are function prototypes. Under public, we have function prototypes. So on the implementation file, so that means I'm just writing what? I'm just writing the implementations for those function prototypes. You see? I'm just writing the implementation for those function prototypes. Okay, why is it taking so much? Yes, so that means now I'm writing the implementation for those function prototype. So now let's try and learn how to do this by coding. So by the way, so now we want to create a relationship between this file and this file. You see, so now I'm going to include that header file here. Include hashtag include car.h. And then now I want to include that hashtag include. I want to print I want to use cout, so I have to include that input output stream header file. What's this? What's that? Hashtag include. Oh, hashtag, I forgot hashtag. Yes. So now by doing this, by doing that, so I'm trying to include this file, this whole file on this file, you see, because I'm trying to write the implementation for these function prototypes, you see. Yes, so I have to include this file on this file, you see. Yes, and then now let's go and copy and learn how to code. Yes, so void book, okay, void. Oh, book, it's a class name, so that means I'm going to use car, void car. All right, and then that is scope resolution operator. Okay, scope resolution operator. Scope resolution operator. So that is scope resolution operator. Those 4 semicolons are called scope resolution operator. All right, let's continue. Yeah, and then I have my set book. Okay, so that means I'm just taking these as it is. Okay, let's copy that. Copy. All right, paste. Yeah, set car. I have my set book. I have my set car. Able. Okay, this is not that difficult. Eh? All right, title. Oh, this one is on the right side and this one is on the left side. Oh, it makes sense. So that means name of the car, it's going to be passed here. Then I have my variable, which is name. Then I have, and now I have my name. And then that means now this name on the parameter of setCar, which is passed on that function setCar, is now passed to this variable, to this private variable, which is name. Oh, it makes sense now. Okay, so that means whatever that is inside this parameter, it's copied to this private variable. All right. Programming is easy, right? Okay. And then let me copy again. Bible, what's this? There is an if statement there. Okay, if price is greater than 0, cost price is equal to price. Oh, so now they are trying to say whatever value that is passed here. So if the value that is passed here as a parameter, if it's greater than 0, it must be copied to this private variable. Okay, so okay, this is easy, right? Okay, let me try it on my own. Yes. Okay, wait for it. Oh, there's someone speaking. Yes.
Uzinga tune excuse.
But I don't see uzinje na.
Uthethe pha WhatsApp.
Utin, can you read it for me? I can't read because couch. What's going on?
Oh, uthi screen akasiboni kakuhle.
That's a network. Yeah, I'm sorry for him. For her, man. Ngixelele uba uzobona i-recording. Eish, it's bad. Makabuye emanqoyini okanye emqanduli okanye exhoka aze campusini. Yeah, network problem that one. Network problem. Ngixelele uba
Boni record.
yeah. Yes. Let's continue. Oh, okay. Let's try to do that. So now, if this cost price is greater than 0, I want it to copy. So now, you see, this is the value is going to be passed here. And now, so if this value that is passed here is greater than 0, I want it to be copied to this variable. Oh, this sounds exciting and easy, right? Let me try it on my own. Okay, if cost is greater than 0, copy this cost to this private variable, which is price. You see? Yes. So that means the value on the right side is copied to the value on the left side. This thing is easy. Programming is easy. I can do it in my sleep, right? Let's see. All right, I have this one. Void book print. Okay, so let me see similarities. So when I was writing the implementation for the first function void, which is setBook, I had void book and I had scope resolution operator. So even here I have the same thing, void book scope resolution operator. That means whenever I'm creating this implementation, I must follow those rules, right? Okay, so it's a written type. Okay, so that means now whenever now I'm creating, so it's a written type. So this is a syntax, written type, then a class name, then a scope resolution operator, then a function. This is easy, right? Let's put multiple line comment. This is easy. I can do it this way. And then now you create your implementation. You implement your function. You implement your function. Implement your function. You close. So this is the syntax, right? I can do this in my sleep, right? Let me do that right now. So it's a written type, which is void. Okay. So now I'm creating the implementation for this one. So I'm creating implementation for this function. So, okay. The written type there is void. Sorry, let's close that one. So it's void, right? So let's take this and put it somewhere else, not here. Put it there. Yes. So it's the syntax is saying return type in the class name. So the class name is car, and then it's scope resolution operator, and then it's the function. So the function is display. Oh, it's display. So I'll just say display. Okay, and then now I implement the function. So this function, let's say display, the name of function is display. So that means it's going to display the name of the car and the price of the car. So that means I'm going to use my cout. Then I say name, and then I say name. Then I want to skip a line after I've printed the name, so I'm going to use my end line. Yes, and then I want to print now the price of the car. I'm prompting the user, so this is the price. And then I want to put the currency, which is rands, and then I want to print now the price. Then I want to skip a line. Yes, and then yeah. So now this means now that this line it's going to print the name. This line is going to print the price. This line, which is 13, is going to print the price of the car. All right. So let's save this file. Save as. Yes. So we just go to the file name. We say implementation. Then you save. Okay. So this. Okay. I've just implemented the two functions on my own, looking at this program, right? I did not write this program when I was trying to learn how to create implementation. I've created my own program, looking at this program, trying to learn how to create this program. You see how that's amazing and easy. And then now, let me go back. Let's go back to our file. So the main function now, let's go to the main function. Okay, the main function now. Yes, the main function now. Now this main function. So a book one. Okay, all right. So at this part, I'm trying to declare. So if you remember, when we're creating a variable, we have a data type and an identifier. So now book becomes an identifier, and book one becomes an identifier, and book now it's what? It's a data type. So that means now I've just declared a variable book one. So an object is created. So after this part, so this is going to be created without these, without C++. So it's just spaces, empty spaces. There is no 1500, and there is no C++. There are spaces there. There is just a block with title, cost price, and a space to store the title, and a space to store a cost price after this statement, which is the first statement, book one. So I'm creating what? I'm declaring a variable, right? Yes. And then now I call this method, which is set book, you see. So that means now at this part, this is string title. So I want to pass my title there. And then 1,500. Double price. I want to pass my price there for the car. So that means I'm passing the price for the car on that parameter. So I'm passing my value on this function, which is set book. You see. So after I've passed this title and this price, so that means C++ programming for problem analysis to program design, it's going to be yes, it's going to be copied. It's going to be copied to this title. So it's going to come here. It's going to come here and get stored here. C++ programming. So this title, you see, it's for the object. You see, yes. And then now the 1,500, I'm passing it here. So that means if it's greater than 0, I want to store it inside here. You see, yes. So I'm storing it inside here on my object, which is book one that I've created here. This is the new variable. You see, this is the variable. It's storing a title, a cost price. You see, the cost price is of type double. The title is of type string. See, this variable, it's storing a different type values. The values of different type. You see, yes. And then now, finally, I call book1.print. So that means now I'm trying to, I'll just go to this object and print this C++ programming, problem solving, analysis to program design. I just print this and 1.5. So that means I'm calling this function. I'm calling this function title, and then it's going to come directly and take this title and print it and say out price. So it's going to come here and take this 1.5 and print it. You see? Yes. And then now let me come on this side so that I can create my own based on that. So I will just open a new file, source file, yes. And then now I say, again, I want to include this one. You see, I want to include that one. I want to include that one. So I don't want to include HioStream whenever I'm doing. So I'll just, yes, let me just say this one. Okay. Let me just say hashtag include you see, I want to include this header file always. And then I create my main function where the action is happening. And then I come here, or it's a class name and then object name or a variable. So I put my data type car. Then I say car1. And then so this is called instantiation. Of, yes, it's called instantiation or training, whereby I'm creating my object for the class car. See. So now this one is a data type, this one it's a variable, right? Boo. So that means now I have car1 there, I have a name there, I have a price there, right? After this one, and then I say 1 dot. Aibo, look at this. Available functions. I can see my functions. So that means I'm on the right path. I enter there. You see, I have to pass a string. At the same, I have to pass a course. So I'll just say Toyota Yaris. Toyota. You can just say Toyota Yaris. Yaris. I think Toyota is a brand name. It's a brand name Toyota. So let's say Yaris. And then I've passed my string, and then I want to pass the course now. So let's say it costs around 90,000. 90,000. That. Yes. And then now I want to print now. So now I want to print or pass name and price. After this statement, so that means now I'm gonna have car one, name, Yaris, price, 90,000. There you go. Yes. And then now I want to print the values from this object that I've created. So calling display function. At this stage, I'm printing, so I'll just call that display function. Yes. So let's save this file. And then save. And then let's compile our program. Ooh, oh, we have errors. No such file or direct. Yeah. So the error there, as you can see, that means I've misspelled the IOStream part. So I have to correct that part and compile again. So when we're compiling programs, we are not looking for errors. We're just converting the code into a binary code. We're converting a high-level code into a binary code, right? Into a machine code so that it can be understood by the CPU of the computer or the machine. Yes. And then let's compile again. Hooray! As we can see, I've just printed name, Toyota Yaris, price 90,000 rands. So our program works. So guys, any comment? Is this method working? Yeah, I understand. Do you understand? Yeah, KV. Oh, yeah, money. Okay. So, Uvoya, did you grasp something today? According to Bambegleo Uvoya, did you learn anything new?
Yes, but I'm not that.
Yeah, just say we're gonna get there. just, yeah, baby steps, baby steps, baby step, baby step, yeah. But we're gonna get there. Yes. Just the first, just go back to the recording and try to do your own program. As I was doing, just look at the code that I was creating. Just do the same thing I was doing, but creating your own code. Yeah, looking at someone's code, but creating your own code, just like I was doing. Yeah, and then you created the next code, and then the next one, and then it's just you repeat. You're on a loop, and then you're gonna be fine. Yeah, thank you guys. Let's meet tomorrow, but if possible, I'm not sure. Yes, but tomorrow, I think I'll see you Monday. Now I have a lot of work to do tomorrow and Sunday. I think I'll see you on Monday. See, finally you are back. Uze awuvakali. Nemva nokuthi hi-ke bye guys. So I hope KV must utayibona utawuchana umcimbi kule way separate class into three separate. I was separating your program into three separate files, right? Live. Thank you.